I just have one thing to say to everybody. This is your team, and it's here to stay.
You are now listening to Sports Talk 916 with Greg Bull and Coach Greg Veroza.
If you'd like to participate in the show, there are a couple of ways to do it. If you want to contact us on Twitter, use the show's Twitter address, which is @SportsTalk916. For Greg B, go to @MrChief916. And for me, Coach Greg, it's @Greg Veroza. And Veroza is Varozza. And if you want to chat live with us, the best place to go is go to the Mixler page and hit chat. There you'll see all of us chatting together as the show goes on. Good evening, boys and girls. Man, that's really loud tonight. Now it's really quiet.
Good evening.
There we go. Well, I guess I can deal with that. Good evening, boys and girls. It's Sunday night, 8 o'clock, and you know what that means. It's time for Sports Talk 916, episode 204.
Yep.
And hi, my name is Coach Greg. Hi on Facebook Live. Over there is my buddy, Mr. Chief, Greg Bull.
That is me.
And together we are the two-headed monster of Sports Talk, of Greg. The two-headed monster of Greg. I haven't said that in a while.
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, two-headed monster of Greg that makes up Sports Talk 916. The most ignored sports talk podcast in Sacramento by its producer.
Right? Barn Bomb, we have a problem, buddy. We're going to need...
Is Mike on? Mike, are you on?
He's not on yet.
If somebody knows Mike's phone number, call him and tell him that he needs to...
I just texted him.
Oh, did you?
Hey, Christy is on.
Hi, Christy.
Of the Sac Sirens of coaching staff. We'll be talking with them here in a little bit.
Yeah.
Hopefully everyone can hear us just fine out there in Facebook land. We haven't done a sound check, so...
Sound check.
Do that right now. But, yeah, so interesting show this evening. I am in a food coma. We had our St. Patty's Day dinner tonight.
So what'd you have?
We did the potatoes, the cabbage, the carrots in the crock pot, and I smoked a corned beef brisket for 6 hours today out in the backyard.
Ooh, did you have rolling papers and everything?
Huh? Yeah, just rolled it up, rolled it nice.
You know what? I don't think I've ever had smoked corned beef.
It's amazing.
Is there any left?
There might be a few pieces left.
I might have to have a little taste of that. I might have to have a late
St. Patty's Day
yeah.
dinner. Yeah, you have that, and then you have the lemon yummy.
Yeah, the green lemon yummy.
You know what?
What?
You're going to have to carry the show for a minute. I got to go out and get my stupid fucking dongle because Apple's a bunch of slapdicks and I can't take a phone call without it.
So while he goes and gets his dongle, because we can't be dongleless around here, just wondering how many people's brackets are as destroyed as mine are. I love doing the brackets. I love doing the college football bowl pools. Makes it a lot more interesting. But I unfortunately this year went for the repeat winner, and Villanova is gone. And so I'm pretty much done, cooked, over with in all my brackets. Last year, this time, I was in the top 50 in the country on Yahoo. But I think everybody's learned my tricks and of the trade, and now I'm just dead. So one of those things where you try to pick a couple of upsets, and those upsets don't happen, and it's either feast or famine with that, where you're either killing it or you're getting killed. And unfortunately, this year with Villanova crapping out early, I got killed. So, got your dongle?
Got my dongle.
Cool.
God, anyone that works for Apple is a bunch of jackasses.
PC, just
stick to the PC, man. TJ, where's Barn Bomb is a great question. He just got in the Mixler chat box. Mike, we're going to have to talk a little bit later, sir.
Yeah, Mike, yeah. Don't go anywhere, Mike. You're going to be called to the principal's office in a few minutes.
That's right. We're going to be getting a call here in a few minutes as well. Like I said, from the head coach of the Sacramento.
Did you see
Sirens.
this? Oh, did you see what the dude did with the alligator the other day on the golf course?
Yeah, he like petted it or some shit.
He like smacked its tail and made it go back in the water.
Christy says her bracket is terrible.
Oh yeah, mine's horrible. I haven't even looked at it since Villanova lost. I haven't even opened it on my phone.
Mine got broke when Davis got knocked out. So what are you gonna do?
Hey, but you know what? I am winning the Sports Talk 916 bracket. I'm the only one in. And I didn't even submit a thing. So every day I get, congratulations, you're leading the Sports Talk 916 bracket.
You actually do get a notification for that?
Yeah.
I didn't even know we had a bracket.
It's from last year, and I'm the only one that's in there.
That's awesome. Oh, Danny Conover, thank you very much for sharing the video, sir. We greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're gonna dive into a lot today. Like I said, Barn Bomb's gonna hit the principal's office. We're gonna talk Sirens football. We are going to. Well, no one thought Davis had a chance against
no
the team they played.
I don't even think people in Davis thought they had a chance to beat Kansas.
I'm not even sure the players thought they had a chance.
I don't think so.
And then we're going to talk a little bit about the Giants. Their spring training is going well.
Yeah.
You're going to talk about the World Baseball Classic because that game last night was epic.
I didn't see an inning. I haven't watched a pitch of the World Baseball Classic. Maybe I'll try to watch the championship game.
Yeah, it was pretty good. We'll talk a little bit about the 49ers. Some sad news coming out of 49ers camp.
Yeah, I was trying to avoid that, but I saw it.
Raiders are in the news. There's a chance that they may be getting some Skittles in their lineup.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. And then whatever the hell you guys want to talk about elsewhere. So
yeah, we have an open forum, so whatever you guys want to talk about.
Danny in Oak Park, what's up, buddy? So we'll do it. We'll get to that. So we have 2 more minutes until the Sirens head coach joins us. I do want to let you guys know that their opening night, Sirens opening home game, is next Saturday, March 25th at Hughes Stadium, Sacramento City College.
Stadium? Yeah.
I want to say a 5.
I think you're pretty close. Yeah.
5-ish kickoff. Pulling it up right now.
And it's kids' night.
It is kids'
night. Kids get in free. So bring your kids.
Kids under 10 do get in free. First 50 kids who enter this stadium will receive a Siren swag kid bag. More festivities will be highlighted during the week. You can also check our page, Sports Talk 916, on Facebook for more updates. And
we've been to a few of their games. In the last couple of years, we've probably been to, 8 or 9 games?
Yeah, and if you go to a game again this year, you'll get to hear our friendly voices.
That's right.
On the PA. So,
but it's a good crowd. I mean, it's a decent-sized crowd. There's usually 15 or... there's just...
All right, here we go. So
Greg's phone's ringing.
It's my phone. All right, here we go. Hold on. All right, we are now joined by head coach of the Sacramento Sirens, Mr. David Harris. Coach, how are you?
Hello.
Hey, David.
Good. How are you?
Fantastic. Good. My name is Greg. The other voice we'll hear is Greg. You may recognize our voices from some of your home games, but we'll get to that here in a little bit. How is your evening going?
Good so far. I just got done barbecuing some ribs.
There you go.
Nice.
I'm on a quest to find the best barbecue restaurant in town with the most reasonable prices. So I'm on a rib quest. So if you can help me out, I'll take it.
Oh, there's a good place called House of Chicken and Ribs in Amarillo. That's really good,
without a doubt. Let me rephrase that. I'm looking for the second best rib place in Sacramento.
All right, so I just got done eating some smoked corned beef brisket. So
there you go.
So we're on the same page. So
there we go,
Coach. Let's just jump right into it. Another season is upon us for the Sacramento Sirens football team. Next Saturday is the home opener. In a quick set of words here. How is the team looking this year compared to a couple years of past? I know the roster's bigger, so that's got to be one huge plus. But how are things looking as the as the season approaches?
Well, it looks really good compared to last year. Last year the numbers were a little bit lower, but this year we have a good mix of rookies with veterans, and the rookies that are coming in, we have a little bit more speed this year. some size, and some really good hard hitters on the team this year. So really excited, especially when you have numbers, right? You don't fizzle out in the fourth quarter, so you're not having as many ladies going both ways and fizzling out in the fourth quarter to where, you can actually still be aggressive in the fourth quarter with your offense and then still attacking on defense.
How big is the team this year?
So far, we consistently have about 25 ladies at practice, but I think we're up to 28 on the roster. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a big jump. I believe last year, the max at one point of one of the home games we called last year, I believe, was hovering right around 20 if we got lucky. So, it would definitely be nice. As the head coach, and I believe you're also the offensive coordinator, how excited does you, especially on the offensive side of the ball, to have those bodies that are going to be one-sided where, like you said, later into the game, they're not going to get as tired because they're not, on defense and on special teams. Does that give you any kind of freedom to kind of open it up a little bit more, knowing that, the legs may still be under them a lot, later into the game?
Yeah, most definitely. So this year, our quarterback, Lexi, she's last year she had to go back both ways, and this year she's only going to play one side of the ball. And our running back, Nick, she's going to only play on offense as well. So it gives us some better looks as far as offense. I can do more things. I can sprint Lexi out a little bit more if I have to. I can throw the ball, run a little bit more option with her, with Nick back there. So it really helps when you have the numbers there to keep the offensive side of the ball moving. Because when you're tired on offense, it's really hard to get to move the ball. We have our receiving staff this year. We have really 4 really solid receivers this year. So this year we're going to spread the ball out a little bit more. We're going to run a little bit more spread type offense mixed in with some power running. So you'll see a different approach to the Sirens this year when it comes to offense.
Awesome. And then you mentioned some heavy hitters. What's the position that we're going to be looking for those big hits? Because I know, a lot of people, they have that immediate mindset of, oh, it's women's football. There's not going to be those pad jarring hits. And I won't lie. Like, I watched a lot of Siren stuff, like videos and clips and stuff from the glory days, like when they just couldn't be beat. And then we went out, our first game that we did, which was the playoff game, not last season, but the year before last. And I'm like, I wonder what this is going to be like. And then that whistle blows, and they start just lighting people up, and you're like, damn, I couldn't go out there. I would get my ass kicked.
And in fact, I think you wanted to. You said that you would dress up for a practice and run at running back because you didn't think anybody was going to hurt you until we saw the first game, and that changed.
Yeah, and
quick.
Then my tail tucked, and I won't do that. But where is let's like on defense? Where's to be the strong point? What's going to draw the eye?
So if you look at our 2 linebackers, we have Yessie. She's new. She's a rookie this year, and then you have Trudy, which is a veteran. Those 2 there are probably the 2 hardest hitters on our team. And it was funny. We had them go up against each other in practice because they both play fullback as well. So you have a fullback and a linebacker going at each other, and they hit each other where everybody's like, "Oh my God, how did they not hurt each other?" Right. So if you look at our linebacking crew this year, I would be scared to run up the middle against us this year.
Yeah, I know for a fact that last season we called Trudy's name damn near every play on defense. When I know she got hurt kind of going into the latter part of the year, but in that early part of the season, I was calling her name. It seemed like every defensive play. Yeah. So it's good to see, to hear that they're going to have a little bit more. She's going to have a little bit more help out there, and the opportunity to lay some wood.
Yeah. So Yessie's just a younger version of Trudy. Same body type, same style of play, and having them 2 in the middle, it's going to be scary for anybody going up the middle.
Nice. So, do you find? How do I want to word this? You mentioned the mix between the veteran and the rookie is pretty balanced. I know last year it was a lot more rookie than vet. Does this allow you a little bit more flexibility too for those first time players coming in to kind of look at the vets and they're like, hey, no, we trust what's going on. They know what they're talking about. This works. Let's get out there and do it. Does it eliminate some of the hesitation and some of the stiffness when it comes to playing? Does it allow them to kind of free flow a little bit more?
It does. The vets that we have are tremendous leaders, and a lot of them have played multiple years. and some of them are a little longer in the tooth as well. So when they see some of our vets in there and they're scrapping, and they can show how aggressive you can be, and you don't have to be timid, or yes, you can go in there and make a difference in any play. Yeah, the rookies come in and they look at it going, wow, I didn't know I could be like this, right? And they actually step up and they follow what the leaders are doing. So the mix of the vets and the rookies this year, you can definitely tell that these ladies are teaching, and it's easier as a coach too, because I don't have to teach as much technique one-on-one when I have a vet on the side doing the same thing. So it's to me it's great, because you are dealing with women that understand the game, and you have these rookies coming in really eager to learn the game. And then once they get both of them together, like in our backfield, I have a lady that she's first year playing. She's playing running back. We call her Mighty Mike. She's she's littler, but she's really fast. And then she follows a fullback like Trudy, and she trusts Trudy as a lead blocker. And once she sees that, okay, Trudy's going to open a hole for me, she hits the hole like she's supposed to. So it's really neat to see these ladies that probably have never played football in their life come in and really pick it up, just because of these vets that we have.
And I was gonna kind of ask you something along that same line, and that's with the rookies that you have coming in. Do you find that they're picking up the game pretty quickly, or is there a pretty good learning curve where you're teaching them not pretty much the basics, I would imagine, because most of them have probably never played except maybe for powder puff football or something?
Well, yeah. Well, it surprised me with some of the rookies, because handed out playbooks, and one thing they will not want you to say is, don't dumb it down for me, right? Don't make it seem like I'm not capable of doing this. So I made a mistake by saying that one time. I'm going to dumb down the playbook just so, and no, they get it. I run a very complicated offense that, with a lot of motions and a lot of traps and so forth. And when you give them the playbook, they actually go home and study it. And then when they come to practice and you say, hey, okay, we're going to do this, and they line up, and you really didn't have to walk them through it, and they line up in the right spots, it was eye-opening how eager they want to learn. So it was great.
Oh, good. And those rookies that you do have coming in, what kind of athletes are, what's usually their background in sports? Are they, what kind of history do they have as athletes?
So we have some that are soccer players, ex-soccer players. We have some that are softball players. So your typical, what women usually traditionally play is what these athletes have played, right? So this playing football is something a lot of them really wanted to do, but they're also playing the typical what women are supposed to do, right? Which
and we won't tell them that you said that either.
No, because it's true, because they really take offense to when guys say that women shouldn't be playing football or playing or can play football. And when I'm out there coaching, I could tell you right now, I've coached high school football for years now, and some of these women, I could say, wow, I'm surprised you didn't go out and play for a high school team, because they're really pretty athletic, and sometimes you can see that they can hang probably with some of the guys out there.
Cool.
Well, when you tell a girl that they're not supposed to, or they shouldn't, at least, with my wife and even my 2 kids, it's like, they're like, oh, I shouldn't. That means I need to go out there and prove that I not only should I, but I can, and I can do it well. So I'm sure that there's that chip on the shoulder of every lady that puts on those pads. It's like, okay, we're not technically supposed to. And yeah, they glorify football with the lingerie bowl and things like that. And, it's right. It's appealing to the eye, but let's go out there and show them what real football can be.
And as a coach,
and it is, it is real football.
Oh, gee, big time! Yeah. And as a coach, are you saving that in your hip pocket for a time where you need to pull one of them aside and say, you shouldn't be playing football. You're just a girl, and watch them kick somebody's ass.
No, I'll tell you, I don't need. I tell you the truth, I don't need to. They all go out there. They're motivated, and that's what I love about it. Every player has their different motivation, and even it doesn't matter what gender you are, right? Everybody has a competitive nature to them. And one thing I always tell them, if I have to pump you up, then you're not in the right sport.
Right.
So, and that's the thing, is they are out there, And the practices that we have are not easy, and they are out there every day putting in the work like any other football player. So.
Great. Now let me ask this, Coach. I don't know how much on the field the players hear, the announcers or the crowd or things like that, but it's kind of our job from the sideline to try to light a fire if it does work. Sometimes the crowd tends to get into it. Sometimes they could be a little lackluster, and that's just not Sirens games. That's pretty much any sport. Sometimes they're just not into it. Us sitting up in the booth and myself primarily on the PA announcing side, what is something that we can do that might help fire the players up? I mean, are they aware of when they make a tackle? Like, let's say Trudy makes a stuff up the middle. Does it fire her up to hear her name? Like, can they hear us? Can they hear what the crowd is reacting to? And does it really play that big of a factor into the game? Or are they so focused on what's going on that, it's kind of just like outside white noise?
Well, no, I can tell you this. It doesn't matter what level football you play. The crowd, the announcing, everything plays a factor, right? If there is a great play being made and these players really feed off the energy from the crowd, from the sidelines, even from the ladies on the field. So it doesn't matter what level of football. It can go from all the way from Pop Warner up. The sidelines does really have a key role in how these players get motivated on the field as well. If they get hyper for anything, and if the crowd's getting louder, crowd's into it, it really gets these players to focus, and they want to please the crowd. And that's like a gladiator mentality as a football player, is you want to go out there and please the crowd, because that's what you're really out there to do. You're there to compete, and you're out there to entertain. So anytime the crowd can get involved, that really hypes up the players.
All right, so that answers my question. I need to, if I have to, I'll just stick my head out the window and I'll yell down at the people if they're not listening on the speaker system, like, hey, let's make some noise. And we'll be sure to up our intensity and within the limits of what we can do, because I know it is still a professional sport, and we can't pump in crowd cheering and anything like that into the speaker system, but we'll do what we can. Coach, one last thing before we let you go here. If you had a message to anyone that may hear this or see a post about this and they're uncertain about whether or not they want to come out and support another Sacramento professional sport, given that it is women's football and many people may not know about it, or a lady that may think, hey, this might be something I want to do, what message would you have to that person who's on the fence about coming out and giving it a shot, seeing what it's like? Well,
the message I would give any player that is on the fence is you have to try it. Right, because if you don't try it, you don't know. That, like I always say, the 100% of the shots missed are the ones that you don't take. Right, so if you don't go out there and try something that you're passionate about, and there are women that probably live in Sacramento that, hey, I'm not sure if I should do that. I'm not sure if I'm strong enough. I'm not sure if I'm big enough or fast enough. There's a spot on this team for any type of woman that wants to come out and play. The passion that you put into anything will definitely show on the field. So I have all shapes and sizes. I have from a player that's 4'10" to a player that's over 6 foot. So the size doesn't matter. I don't want women thinking, hey, I can't do it because I'm not big. Because I heard we had a crab feed last night, and I heard a few people talk about, wow, I wouldn't think that was a football player. Well, football players come in all shapes and sizes, and if you really want to try it and you really want to feel what it's like to put those pads on, I would encourage anybody to come out and play.
Yeah, we're going to put pads on Veroz over there and see how things are going to go.
No, we're not.
All right, Coach. So next Saturday is the home opener. Hopefully, we can get some folks out there. For those that didn't hear us talk about at the very beginning, it is Kids Night. First 50 kids get a little Siren swag bag. Tickets are just $10. Yep. Children under 10 are free. Kickoff is at 5 or 5:30.
I believe it's at 5:30. I think even maybe 6. So.
All right, I will confirm that before we.
I think it's 6 o'clock.
But Coach, we look forward to it. Hopefully, we'll get down and and meet you in person before the game or after the game next week. And we look forward to calling your guys' games, and hopefully this will be a bounce back year. I know last year was a little bit rough. Hopefully, we can get a little bit of revenge on, I believe it was the Utah team that has like 155 people on the roster.
Oh, yeah, that's our third game. We travel up to them. So,
are they coming here this year?
They are coming here on May 13th.
Oh, okay, good.
Awesome.
So we go to them and they come to us.
Sounds good. So we look forward to it, Coach. Again, this is the head coach and offensive coordinator of your Sacramento Sirens. Next home game is the home opener, March 25th at Hughes Stadium. You can get tickets at the door. And, Coach, we thank you very much for your time, and good luck this season.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Have a good night.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Hey, and I challenge anybody that's listening, especially if you're a guy and a football fan, it's real football, and it's hard-hitting football, and those
games at 6 o'clock.
Those women are Those women are badass, and if you like football and you want to see people that are playing just for the pure fun of playing the game, I challenge any of you to come out and watch a game and not fall in love with it and want to be a supporter, because it's a good night out. It's a good family night out. And like I said, you're watching players play just for the pure joy of playing. And that's I think been lost in a lot of sports. So I really, really recommend that you come out and check it out. So I want to see some of you guys that are in the chat box. If you're not doing anything, TJ, get your ass out there.
Barn Bomb.
That might be your punishment, Barn
Mike,
Bomb.
No, it's not punishment.
No.
Mike, okay. So, again, 6 o'clock, Hughes Stadium, Sac City College, Sacramento Sirens have their home opener. Mike, should we get Mike on the phone for this?
Yes.
Mike, are you available? Mike, can I call you? Mr. Barn Bomb. Plugging back in the GoPro, the GoPhone. It's not a GoPro. No, I'm not poor. Michael Barnbaum. He's on listening, so we're going to mess up his iPad by calling him right now.
The mobile phone voicemail for Mike Barnbaum. Unfortunately...
Sent me to voicemail.
Mike. You need to step up, Mike. You need to be here.
So first of all, God damn it, it's at Kennedy. God, I am all over the place.
Is it Kennedy?
It's at Kennedy. Thanks, Christy. I will clear all that up here in a second. 6 o'clock.
So are all the games at Kennedy this year? And I can't read that, so you're going to have to read that one.
What did he do? We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah. Who's
Kennedy,
that, TJ?
Yeah, CJ. 6 o'clock, Kennedy. Christy will comment back on that for us here in a second.
Yeah.
My phone is turned off right now. We'll turn it back on.
Turn it on, Mike.
Battery's under 10%. Mike, get it above 15% and then call us. We have a little bone to pick with you.
Yeah, we need to talk to you, Mike.
Yes, TJ, he is in trouble. Let's first start off with something, because it's going to be fun to razz Barn Bomb. Let's start off with something a little less fun.
Yeah.
If I can find it. Where is the audio? Oh, this is embarrassing.
What are you looking for?
The Are You Kidding Me music.
Are you kidding me?
We haven't used that in so long.
You're kidding me, right? Are you kidding
It's only the bright green button on there.
kidding me?
Right, on the top left-hand side.
kidding me?
Right underneath the show intro.
Right. That you hit more than anything else.
Right. All right. I don't know if you can see it. You can see it. Right up there next to Dudoir, right? There is a autographed photo of 49er legend Dwight Clark.
Yeah.
Clark, unfortunately, is in the news today, and it's not for good reason.
No.
Clark turned 60 years old in January, played 9 seasons with the NFL 49ers from 1979 to 1987. He issued the following statement today. And I'm going to go ahead and read it. I'm going to try not to Mayweather it, but I will do my best. By request.
A fucking punter!
All right.
Who requested that?
Brian Contreras.
Nice, Brian.
He was not a punter. He was a wide receiver.
Yeah.
All right. This is from Dwight Clark. In September of 2015, I started feeling weakness in my left hand. I was mildly All right, Mike, that's a good excuse. We'll have to get you next game. In September 2015, I started feeling weakness in my left hand. I was mildly paying attention to it because since my playing days, I have constantly had pain in my neck. I was thinking it was related to some kind of nerve damage because it would just come and go. After months of tests and treatment, I got some bad news. I was diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. I have ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. Those words are still very hard for me to say. While I'm still trying to wrap my head around the challenge I will face with this disease over the coming years, the only thing I know is that I'm going to fight like hell and live every day to the fullest. There's no test that will positively diagnose you with ALS. You have to eliminate the possibility of all other diseases and disorders, and then wait and see what additional symptoms you develop. I visited 6 neurologists, and 3 ALS specialists. I also was treated for a B12 deficiency, which sometimes can mirror the symptoms of this debilitating disease. In addition to losing strength in my left hand, which makes opening a pack of sugar or buttoning my shirt impossible, I have now experienced weakness in my right hand, abs, lower back, and right leg. I can't run, play golf, or walk any distances. Picking up anything over 30 pounds is a chore. The one piece of good news is that the disease seems to be progressing more slowly than in some patients. I've been asked if playing football caused this. I don't know for sure, but I certainly suspect it did. And I encourage the NFLPA and the NFL to continue working together in their efforts to make the game of football safer, especially as it relates to head trauma. What I do know is I have a huge battle in front of me, and I am grateful for the strength and unconditional love from my wife, Kelly. She has been my rock. She keeps thinking positive and convinces me each day that we can beat this, as does my daughter, Casey, and my son, Mac. My brother, Jeff, his wife, Deborah, and their family also have been unwavering with their love and support. I get the same pep talk from the boss, Eddie D. His support has been incredible. So rest assured, I know I'm not alone in this fight. Every single one of my 49ers teammates that have contacted me has said whatever I need, anytime I need it, they will help. That's just the kind of guys they are. They were so giving as players, and now they're the same as friends. I can't thank my teammates and friends enough for their support. Mr. D always treated us like family, and that family is still together. I also want to thank all the great 49er fans. Your support over the last 35 years has allowed me to remain connected to you. Rarely does a day go by when I'm not asked about the catch, when we're able to get it past the Cowboys, and go on to win our first Super Bowl. I'm not having a press conference or doing any interviews. That time will come. Well, he didn't return my phone call. I'm just kidding. Right now, I've got work to do. I've got to devote all my energy preparing for this battle, and I would hope you can respect my family's privacy as I begin this challenge. My ultimate hope is that eventually I can assist in finding a cure for ALS, which disrupts the lives of so many people and their loved ones. Sincerely, my story.
Wow. You know, it's...
What's crazy is, one, I mean, it sucks, right?
Right.
2, that autograph there was from the grand opening of the Folsom Dick's Sporting Goods. So that was less than 5 or 6 months ago?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it wasn't that long ago.
Wow.
And he was traveling, doing openings, signing, you know, things were good. So...
But he said it's been going on for 5 or 6 years, too.
Right.
So,
which is, you know, it's scary to think.
Yeah. You know, what's the guy from New Orleans that Steve, or is it Steve, the guy who blocked the punt for the Saints game that has ALS?
I don't know.
So his has progressed quite a bit to where he now has a little computer thing that he talks through, kind of a eye activated thing. But you know, the hard thing about that disease, that from what I've read about and heard about, is your body shuts down, your muscles shut down, but your brain
doesn't notice it.
Doesn't know that it's. I mean, it doesn't shut down, so it's still as active as ever.
Steve Gleason.
Steve Gleason, yeah.
TJ.
Thanks, TJ. So yeah, all our prayers are with Dwight Clark, who, you know, is 50% responsible for what I think is the greatest play in Bay Area sports history, and you know, I wonder sometimes what would have happened if he had dropped that ball. You know, how many world championships would they have won? How many? What the difference, you know, in the history of the 49ers would have been. It's kind of one of those right turn moments in life where, you know, we don't want to see what would happen if it would have been a left hand turn.
Right. Exactly. Man, obviously, thoughts go out to Dwight, and hopefully everything works out. But let's talk a little bit about the 49ers now. They essentially have stood pat since day one of free agency. They made a trade for a center last week.
Yeah.
They traded a 6th-round pick for all-pro center, which I'm not mad at. They had a visit yesterday with Tim Hightower. I don't know if they made a deal with him or not.
I haven't heard anything.
But the big news is there, and I think it's more of a positive than people are leading it to believe, is that they're, and Danny, no, I have not seen Southpaw Regional Wrestling. They're not just throwing money around because they can. They didn't go after Dante Hightower. They didn't go after Dontari Poe. They didn't throw a shitload of money at AJ Bowie. They didn't throw too much money at Terrell Pryor. They've made methodical moves that are helping the team as a whole, and they're positioning themselves in a way that, sure, we're likely to see another losing season while this rebuild continues, but there's enough pieces there where it's like, could this team really win some games? You know what I mean?
Well, and I think they're approaching it the right way. Look at the New England roadmap for success. And it's not spend a whole boatload of money on free agents. It's build through the draft and develop those players and keep them around. And then right before their usefulness is over, you get rid of them and you bring somebody else in. And I can only hope that that's the approach they're going to be taking. I mean, they have enough draft picks. They have enough spots. This thing sucks. They have enough needs to where they're going to spend their time in the draft. And I like that idea. And if they can draft as well as they've done, picking up just the right pieces out of free agency, I think this team is going to set itself up. You don't set yourself up for long-term success by getting a bunch of free agents. You don't get guys that have been playing for 8 or 9 years to build a team to win down the road. You get a few just to sprinkle in to teach the younger players how to win. But for the most part, you're developing your team from 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th round draft picks. And it looks to me like that's what they're going to do. And they're not doing stupid things like trading draft picks. They're keeping their picks. And I really like that. I like what I've seen so far.
Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm trying to find... There's a website that has... Tankathon, there it is, found it. Okay. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I mean, they're following it the right way, and it's amazing to me how long it took for the 49ers to figure it out, that you don't need to make a full splash in the pan. Now, there is a rumor about a player that I think would be a fantastic addition to John Lynch's methodology of the way he wants to go, and I think it would fit well with the aura that's floating around San Francisco right now. And this is going to catch me a lot of hell. And I've gotten a lot of shit in a lot of 49ers groups about this, and I don't care. And that's bringing back Colin No, I'm just kidding.
You are about to get shit on your own radio show.
No, it is... There's a player up in the Pacific Northwest that's available for trade right now. They're the team in the Pacific Northwest, Seahawks...
I figured that part
is open to hearing offers on all-pro cornerback Richard Sherman.
Make the trade tomorrow.
3rd round pick, 2nd round pick.
Yes.
In a heartbeat.
Yes.
And I've been called a bandwagon fan, a bad fan, a terrible fan, an idiot fan for wanting a rival player. I'm like, no. Look, if it equates to wins, you make the trade. And then you stick it to Seattle twice a year.
Right. And it's going to be one of those things like the example I can think of right now, and it's not a great example, is a Matt Barnes. You hate him when he's on somebody else's team. He's a cheater. He's a dirty player. He's worthless. I don't want him on my team. Oh, hey, guess who we just picked up? Matt Barnes. He's awesome. He plays great.
A great locker room guy.
And I can see Sherman's going to be the same way. Well, he will be because I know fans. If he's on our team, nobody's going to go, he's an all-pro. He talks a lot. We don't want him on our team. No. You save that for when it's a also ran quarterback that can't throw a 10-yard out, kneels down, and then we don't want him on our team. But any good 49er fan would love to have him on his team. I agree with you 1,000%.
I would make that deal in a heartbeat.
And like our line is, I'll go to the airport and pick his ass up.
Hell yeah! So. The other thing is, the 49ers name obviously is popping up a lot in the mock drafts. They had the number 2 overall pick. And a lot of people...
And like the line is, I'll go to the airport with these... That's not mine, is it?
That's mine.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm having trouble getting the comments to load on Facebook, so I'm trying to pull it up here. There's a lot of talk at the second round pick right now, and it's, do they go quarterback?
Second round or second
overall pick?
Okay.
Do they go quarterback? Do they go with a trade? Do they trade for Kirk Cousins? I've seen this name pop up a fucking ton, and TJ's just lost his second. Duke is out. Duke lost 88-81 in North Carolina or South Carolina.
Mayweather.
TJ's second Final Four team is gone.
Who's your other one, TJ?
Probably UC Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who mine was. It's Solomon Thomas, the 6'3" defensive end out of Stanford.
I haven't seen his name at all.
I've seen his name pop up a bunch of times, and I just don't necessarily get it.
I've heard the Texas Tech guy. I've heard...
Louisville was his other...
Or Louisville. And then I've heard the quarterbacks, but I think those quarterbacks, there's going to be a quarterback available at the end of the first round or the beginning of the second round, and maybe you make a trade to trade up a couple spots, but you don't need to waste that second round pick with a.
So this mock has the Niners taking Solomon Thomas, and they have Mike Williams falling to 13 at Arizona. How lucky would Arizona be to know that Fitzgerald is on his way out, and then they just slide in another guy like
right.
Mike Williams? I've had a lot of 49er fans on Facebook ask me about Leonard Fournette, the LSU running back. He's the guy that punched the chick in the face, right?
No.
No,
that's Mixon. That's Mixon from Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
Leonard Fournette's the guy from LSU who had all kinds of talent, all kinds of potential, and is pretty injury prone. I mean, he was injured, I think, all 3 years that he played. So
TJ says Solomon Thomas, the guy from Stanford, the defensive end, is a top 5 pick. And it fits John Lynch. John Lynch is a Stanford guy.
Could be.
Can you imagine putting Eric Armstead, the other guy we got, DeForest Buckner, and another big, smart Stanford guy on the front line together?
Oh,
No one would run against San Francisco.
No, not at all.
The problem is, though, they would just throw because we still don't have any cornerbacks.
We've drafted a ton of them, though.
No, we drafted a bunch of safeties.
And made them cornerbacks.
That's because everyone else got hurt. Game over. UCLA handily beat Cincinnati 79-67. The Bruins will play. The Bruins play Kentucky in the Sweet 16.
I have that game as a Sweet 16 game, and I have UCLA winning that.
That's going to be a hell of a game.
But I think that's about the only one I have left.
So since we just mentioned UCLA, let me ask you a question. Let's say the Kings get a top 3 pick. It's not going to happen. Let's say they get a top 4 pick. Hell, let's just say top 5. No.
He's not going to be available at 5.
Let's just say Ball somehow falls to the Kings pick at 6, 5, wherever they land. He's obviously an arguably very talented player. He's going to be a very good player in the NBA, I believe. Is his dad going to hurt his draft stock?
No.
You don't think so?
Not at all. Because there's a difference between being a college player and a dad than being a pro player and a dad. Because
NBA teams can tell him to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, they will. They'll tell him to shut the fuck up, go away. We're not paying you. He can't take his kid and go home. If UCLA doesn't do what he wants, potentially he could take the kid and go home and sit him out for half a season and turn around and let him get drafted or play for somebody else next year. It's not going to happen in the NBA. They're going to go, you need to shut up and you concentrate on getting a shoe deal or whatever you want to get or sell your brand.
$1 billion shoe deal.
Yeah. And keep practicing to play Charles Barkley or whatever you're going to do. But no, it's not going to hurt his draft.
Brian Contreras says that the NBA players will have hits out on his son. I don't think so.
I don't think so. No, because, he's not. I've heard him in a couple of interviews, and he's not. It's almost like he's not buying into the hype that his dad is doing. He basically says, hey, that's my dad. He's been doing it all his life. I just play basketball. And he's a good teammate. He's a good player. He does everything the right way. He doesn't get into trouble. He's not a meme guy on the court. He's not drawing attention to himself.
TJ says that LeVar Ball is the Archie Manning of the NBA.
No, he's the Todd Marinovich, or the what was his name? Marinovich. I forget what his first name was.
TJ will know it. We'll wait for TJ on the delay.
But he's the Marinovich without having the robo player. By the way, did you hear what happened to Marinovich this week?
No.
He pleaded guilty to naked trespassing on somebody's property. He was streaking.
Wow.
Or it might have been on the beach. But he was naked somewhere in public and just got convicted of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And by awesome, I mean pretty fucking sad. Marv Marinovich.
There you go.
Dad.
I was going to say Mark, but I knew it was close.
Why can't I view all the goddamn comments? Hold on. I'm sorry. This is just bugging the living piss out of me. Because there's something I wanted. I mean, Danny wanted me to answer a question about something you cared so much about. And that's WrestleMania. I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure I have that in front of me. Okay, so Maddox and Woods, same page as this guy.
Is Danny that dude that has, I don't know, some kind of local wrestling ties?
Yeah, Danny and Oak Park, man. You've heard
Is that Danny and Oak Park?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was Danny and Oak Park.
Danny and Granny, dude. Let's talk about the Kings real quick. Obviously, they lost again today to the Spurs. It was
I don't care.
Yeah,
I care less.
That's good. Give me, in 3 words, your opinion on Scalavizier.
Can I say more than 3 words?
Sure.
Heard a report yesterday, and Patino said this, or Calipari. Mm-hmm. Calipari said, had he stayed in college for 2 more years, he would be the number 1 pick. Mm-hmm. We gave Vlade a whole bunch of shit at draft time. Vlade's looking pretty good right about now.
Papianis is looking good.
Papianis is looking good. Scal's looking pretty good.
You got Buddy Hield. I mean, right there. Like that.
And the trading for Buddy Hield, building blocks, man.
Well,
building
not only
blocks.
that, but you put in Willie, Scal, Buddy. It's a pretty damn good
And you got
core.
Bogdanovich or whatever his name is coming in next year.
Bogdanovich coming if he comes next year. Then you have Papianis on the bench. You still have other arguably decent talent down in Reno that you can pick from.
And Jerry Reynolds is all over the other guy they got from New Orleans.
Langston Galloway.
Yeah, he's all over. It says he has one of the cleanest shooting strokes that he's ever seen.
Yeah, and Vlade isn't looking like so much of a bum.
No.
And speaking of bums, do you see New Orleans last night? New Orleans got to win.
DNP, coach's decision.
Healthy scratch.
He wasn't healthy. He has a bad knee. He's got some knee problems.
He doesn't.
Well, that's what they said.
He has a sore vagina is what he has. Dude, DeMarcus isn't going to... He won't be a Pelican to start next season.
No, he won't.
He's going to go somewhere else. They're going to ship his ass off for fucking Skittles.
What doesn't he get? What's it going to take to get through to that guy that he's killing his career?
It's obviously not working. He's his head has gotten thicker since he left Sacramento. He just doesn't get it. He does not get it at all.
It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out and what the reaction of DeMarcus Cousins is going to be when we talk about him in 10 years.
Yeah.
Is it going to be, man, he finally got things right and became the player that everybody thinks he could be?
TJ says he's going to Brooklyn. That would be fantastic.
That would be.
If DeMarcus gets shipped to Brooklyn.
No, I know where he needs to go.
Phoenix?
Philly.
No, they'd murder him.
I know.
No, I want to
see.
as a person.
I want to see Corner Pub Sports have to
cover him every week. Oh
week.
My God. Well, speaking of Corner Pub, did you see today that Philly beat Boston?
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, hey, King's note from Mike Barnbaum. I was told by Jason Ross that Malachi, another young piece.
Yeah.
Malachi Richardson will be back next week. Could you imagine if the Kings recalled Isaiah Cousins from Reno? We'd have a great backcourt of Hield and Isaiah Cousins, who are both teammates at the University of Oklahoma. So
Barnbaum's been on
that.
He's on the Isaiah Cousins kick big time.
And I still agree with Mike 1,000%. If Isaiah Cousins makes the Kings roster, he needs to choose number 15.
I think he needs to be number 51.
That'd be funny too.
Hey, so is Barnbaum? Are we going to talk to Barnbaum?
Mike, is your phone charged yet? I think we need to.
We need to, yeah.
Real quick, Danny from Oak Park. Choices for WrestleMania.
God.
Brock's going to beat...
Brock Lesnar.
Brock is going to beat Lesnar or Goldberg.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's
not. Yep. Goldberg's done. Brock's going to have the title for a year. AJ's going to beat Shane. Corbin is going to lose to Ambrose. Team Alpha Male is going to win, but they're going to lose to the Hardys the following week.
Team Alpha Male, isn't that the MMA guys here in town?
Oh, sorry, it's just Team Alpha. It's not Team Alpha Male. Who else is there? Seth will beat Triple H.
Triple H is wrestling again? Boy, I got Goldberg and Triple H. I might have to
Brock Lesnar.
And
you can come over and watch it if you want. We'll be watching.
I might come over just to watch Triple H and Brock Lesnar and Goldberg.
Who else is there going to be? Cena and Nikki will beat Miz and Maurice. Undertaker will lose to Roman Reigns. We'll do that again. Scott Freshour wants to come on and talk wrestling before WrestleMania, so we'll have Fresh on and we'll talk about that.
Maybe I'll be sick that night.
We're still waiting for Barnbaum to check his phone.
Come on, Mike.
He just says, "I want to know what Mike did."
It's not what he did.
Cliffhangers. It's what he didn't do.
Yep.
Damn it, Barnbaum.
Come on, Mike. You're holding up the whole show. Come on.
We'll just talk about this real quick. Raiders interested in beast mode. Can you imagine if...
Apparently he was on Twitter today giving these cryptic clues on...
Did you see Marquette King? Marquette King, the punter, put up a picture of him climbing a ladder, and up on a power line was a pair of lime green
Oh, yeah,
cleats.
I did see that.
He's like, "Hey, I got your cleats down for you, homeboy." Yeah, Mike, we're going to reset Mixler right now, and then you're going to call us. All right? Resetting now. All right, resetting Mixler. Going to plug back in the Go phone. The new term for the phone now. The Metro PCS talk line. Barnbaum, let's go. Call it up, sir. Ferroz is going to have the floor when this happens, by the way.
And it's 8:54, and you know what time that is.
Punter.
It's time to go down to Folsom Boulevard and I don't know how to say it. Mike, get on the phone.
Hold on, wait a minute. But no, that's true. Call Mike, but hold on.
This is great radio right here.
Oh, this is fantastic.
Yeah. But just wait. The payoff will be good.
Why did he text me?
Come on, Mike.
Go ahead and call me. Hold on, Mike. I got to find something first. You know what I'm looking for, right?
No, I don't.
Facebook with Barn Bomb.
Oh.
Did I not save it? Oh, shit.
Let's call Barn Bomb and let's just get going with this
Damn it.
before we lose any more of our audience.
I'm going to keep looking for it. Floor's yours.
Oh, you got to help me with this, though.
I will, but you're starting.
Hello.
Michael J. Barnbaum. It's Greg.
What's going on?
Nothing much. How you doing, buddy?
Doing all right.
Well, we'll see what happens in the next few minutes. Mike, we have a bone to pick with you. Both of us do.
All right. What's up?
Do you have any idea what it might be?
No.
What'd you do this afternoon?
I did the Sacramento Throne podcast with Keith Joganatos.
Right. And what were you wearing, Mike?
I was wearing the Deuce and Mo T-shirt and a charcoal gray sweatshirt.
Right. And,
We have a problem with the sweatshirt, Mike. No, I'm just kidding.
And what podcast and what radio stations did you mention while you were on that? On that
What
show?
podcast? I mentioned their podcast because Keith mentioned
No.
their podcast.
Now, Mike, you didn't mention our podcast. Keith mentioned our podcast. You said nothing.
I said nothing.
What Greg is getting at, Mike, is you hurt his feelings.
You did. You said nothing. You let Keith talk about our podcast. You talked about Jason Ross. You even did a break, a spot from KHTK from RC Country Hobbies. You talked about how good Deuce and Mo's podcast is. We got nothing, Mike, and you're supposed to be our producer. You hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Mike, it's 8:58. It's now time for Greg Rosa crying into tissue, brought to you by Kleenex, because he said that you didn't mention him at the 2:35 drop.
Nothing, Mike. What do you have to say for yourself?
If I didn't, I apologize. We were just discussing some things, and I was just saying whatever was at the top of my mind at the time.
Okay, so what you're saying is we're not at the top of your mind.
No, you are a very popular and important podcast.
Mike, I can't stay mad at you.
Mike, we're just giving you a hard time, buddy. I would have liked to have seen if you would have given Deuce and Mo some love, which I have no problem with doing.
Exactly.
You've actually inspired me to wear my Deuce and Mo podcast shirt tonight on our Facebook Live video. If you wanted to give them love, you could have wore your Sports Talk 916 shirt.
Yeah, I need to order the new edition.
So do we.
Yeah. There are none.
We haven't got that far yet. We need to order them also.
So here's your assignment,
Okay.
Mike. Next time Jogenitis has you on his podcast, you have to be wearing a Sports Talk 916 shirt, and we want to plug.
Or, even better, Mike, next time you call into 1140 and you talk to Jason Ross on the lowdown, we need a Sports Talk 916 mention. You don't need to mention Mixler and 8 p.m. and all that other stuff, but just maybe something like, the guys from Sports Talk 916 say hello or something like that.
Okay.
All right, you're the man, Mike. So you're not gonna be able to make it out to the Sirens game, huh?
No, I'm flying at between 11 and 11:30 that morning to Southern California. On the day of the Sirens game, as the next day I'm going to be at a matinee with the Kings and the Clippers at the Staples Center.
Perfect. I can't be mad at you for that. They do have other games this year, Mike. We hope to see you at least at one of the games. I don't know if our team makes it out to Kennedy High School in South Sacramento. That might be kind of tough. I know you've gotten your private RT, your paratransit van, to give you a ride to South Sac before, so I know it can be done.
I thought the games were at Hughes Stadium.
So did I.
You've talked about on the show.
Yeah, they just corrected me 5 minutes ago on our Facebook page. The Sirens commented, games will be at Kennedy High School, 6 p.m. kickoff going forward. So a little bit smaller venue, a little bit. Actually, I kind of liked it better.
I didn't.
No?
Well, because my situation's harder to get up there.
That's true. They don't have an elevator. But
yeah.
All right, Mike. Well, we'll try to get you out to a game, or we want to see you out at the game, and we'll even let you sit up in the booth with us, maybe.
Yeah. And
I know. I know we're working on the elevator situation at Sacramento State. The elevator went out in the middle of last season.
Oh, did it really?
Our home opener. Yeah, our home opener is going to be September 9th against Incarnate Word Private School out of Texas. So that should be exciting. But the season opener is September 1st in Moscow, Idaho, against the Idaho Vandals.
That sounds kind of communist. Just going to put that out there. Cool, Mike. Well, hey, like I said, buddy, we're just giving you a hard time.
Yeah, be it what it is, but that's the name of the city in Idaho, and I'm just giving people the facts.
All right, Mike.
And you do, Mike.
Mike, give us who's the number one Sacramento podcast that broadcasts at 7 or 8 p.m. on Sunday evenings?
Sports Talk 916 is number one. Stingers up.
That works for me.
Good
Thanks,
job,
Mike. We'll talk to you soon, bud.
Thank you. All right.
Bye-bye. Oh,
I tried to stay mad at him for a while. I couldn't do it.
What's up, George? Thanks for joining in on Mixler, buddy. So everybody's bracket is busted now. No, mine's perfect. Still going strong. I'm just filling mine out as it goes.
You picked one game.
I picked the UC Davis game in the first four, and that's the only one I've gotten right so far.
That's right.
Actually, you know what? If I would have filled out a bracket, I would have had my final four would have been Kansas, UCLA, Oregon, and Vanderbilt. So
Vanderbilt or Villanova?
Or Villanova, I'm sorry. So as of right now, I would have
3 out of 4.
3 or 4 left. So, but the road to get there would have been all fucking. I would have been broken on the first day, guaranteed. Can't have a bracket. Can't bust a bracket if you didn't fill one out.
That's right.
That's how I roll. He should have me on sometime. TJ, we're gonna have you on again sometime soon too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's all these people wanting to go on Jogonitis' thing? That's kind of, we have to have a talk with our core listeners here,
right?
Just because he can get you on.
Well, technically, I can get anyone on as well. It's just, do I want a bunch of people coming through my house?
Probably not.
No. So, I mean, no.
Well, we've had TJ through your house.
TJ's been here. Deuce Mason wants to come through. Our games are at Kennedy High School, 6715 Gloria Drive, Sacramento, 95831. It's from Christy Medinger, assistant head coach of the Sacramento Sirens.
Of your Sacramento Sirens. So we're going to have to amp it up at games a little bit more. Well, I'm going to have to amp it up at games. Well, I think I'm doing one, aren't I? Or are you going to be back?
No. Wait, what game is that?
The one that you're out doing your your anniversary.
Oh, I'm going to be doing that on the 8th?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be by yourself. Maybe you have TJ come as a spotter.
Yeah, TJ, you want to come be a spotter on the 8th?
Greg, I can't. You already read that. Our home games. Got it. Yeah, so that'll be the only game I miss. Will be the 8th. Just don't do a better job than me. That's all I got to say. Because I want to make sure I can come back and do the next game. Let's see. What else was on the list for us today? We talked about... Oh, this is what I wanted to talk about. One of the most hated players in my generation, personally, was Karl Malone. Just couldn't stand the guy. Thought he was just a smug, arrogant asshole.
I loved him.
Loved his play. Hated him as a him.
He's another one of those guys where... If he was on your team, he was a Barry Bonds. He was Barry Bonds.
He still has a flip phone. You know that?
Yeah, I know.
To this day.
He's a truck driver, too.
Yeah. So I have the most respect for Karl Malone starting today going forward. Did you see what he said?
I did.
Karl Malone was asked about players resting. And we talked about this with Scott Pollard last week. He said he doesn't like it.
Right.
Karl Malone says, and I quote.
It was a good quote.
Get off your ass. It's not work. It's called playing. And to me, that epitomizes it all right there. You're playing a fucking game. LeBron James has rested more, I think, in the last 6 weeks than anyone else has in the fucking history of the NBA.
You know who I've picked up a lot of respect for? Is Westbrook, Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, just playing his ass off.
And he's played every game this year.
And he's averaging like a quintuple-double.
Yeah, exactly.
Like 44 things of doubles.
He's got 3,000 triple-doubles in a row, and he's not taking any days off. He's played 9,000 games in a row.
He hasn't missed a shot in 13 seasons.
No.
Like, dude's
and he's not taking any games off. You know, these guys, they want us to think they're such great athletes, but it's a fucking basketball game. You know, that's one part of it. The other part of it is, and I've gone back to this every single time, is when Cleveland comes into Sacramento, ticket prices go up by a multiplier of about 4. If LeBron James doesn't play, they still charge the same amount. And it's not right. You know, these guys they're sticking it to the fans. And like one guy said on some stupid show that I was listening to today, is the pendulum has swung all the way to the other side away from the fans. The players don't care.
Nope.
They don't care. And, you know, I rethought my reaction to Steve Kerr and the Warriors based on kind of what the reasoning was. It was in protest to the travel schedule, which was just absurd. To go from Oakland to Minnesota, play overnight in back-to-back overnight in San Antonio, and then back to Oakland, all in 4 days or 3 days, was just ridiculous. And I have no problem with him sitting everybody out because it's a protest. Mm-hmm. But with that being said, I still don't like it because there's people at every game that are coming to see certain players. And if they don't, that's money they've wasted. And Napier has always said there should be a rule. You can't rest your players on the road.
Scott Pollard said the exact same thing last year.
I disagree with that.
You shouldn't be able to rest your players at all.
You shouldn't be able to rest your players.
But the problem is, though, like again, what Pollard mentioned is they start, and you asked them about this last week. They start bringing up phantom injuries.
Right. So
you have a turf toe.
There's no way you can legislate it, but it should just be done. You know, and if they need to extend the season a couple more weeks and spread things out, or you're going to rest them. I got tickets one time to see Jordan here in Sacramento, and it was a back end of a back-to-back, and I think he had a little bit of a ankle tweak. He played a quarter. He played a quarter and a half. But I got to see him play. Right. You know, it wasn't him. And apparently LeBron last night was sitting down drinking Starbucks coffee on the bench in street clothes. You know, they're not doing that. You know, you guys are a bunch of overpaid babies. You always say we're the greatest athletes of any pro sport. You know, we're in the best shape of any pro sport. You don't see hockey players doing that. And I would take a hockey player over a basketball player for toughness and just difficulty of the sport any day. And you don't see them taking a day off. And these guys, it's just, I don't know. It basically is a big fuck you to the fans.
You know who doesn't take time off?
Mike Barnbaum?
Wrestlers.
Oh, fuck.
I'm just kidding. No, I agree with you. Hey, Greg Bull joined. Look at that.
Did he?
Yeah, I'm watching it from my phone. It just popped up. You know, I'm tired of it. And that's part of the reason why I'm glad I don't have my season tickets anymore, because it's such a small roster. Okay, if it were a football roster or a baseball roster, there's guys on the Giants that if Hunter Pence takes a break, you know what, I wouldn't mind seeing, you know, Jarrett Parker get a start and maybe hit a big home run, or Mac Williamson, or, you know, if Bumgarner misses a start, guess what? Okay, you know what? I'll get to watch Samardzija or Cueto move up a day early, or they might slide Beatty in for a start or whatever. You know,
but there's a difference, and the difference in baseball is when a team goes into another city, they play 2, 3, or 4 games.
Right.
When an NBA team comes
Brian
once a year.
Contreras says punters never take time off.
Thanks, Brian.
No, and I agree with that. But, I mean, you know, with baseball, though, most fans have that one time. You know what I mean? Like the Dodgers come to town, you want to see them play. You're gonna look at their probables, and you're gonna go, okay, I want to see the Cueto start.
Right.
And then they scratch them. Well, you already bought that ticket. You don't get to come the next day.
But they don't jack up the prices either.
No, I mean you already know the prices based on the dynamic pricing of the opponent. But in a way, it's still kind of a kick in the dick. And you're like, damn it, I wanted to see, like I said, Bumgarner or whatever. But with baseball and football having such expanded rosters, you can almost bet your ass that there's another player that you wouldn't mind seeing fill in that maybe you might go to that game and go, you know what, I hope that the Giants go up by 15 by the 5th so that I can see so-and-so come in and give Posey a break or whatever.
Right.
So there's a lot more leeway to that. Basketball, there's 14 guys on the roster. They might have an 8-man rotation. You're not going to see the bottom of the bench anyways. You don't want to see the bottom of the bench
there's 2 or 3 guys on every team or on the top teams
that you can't name.
Yeah, well, no. I mean, there's 3 or 4 guys on each team that you want to see. Other than that, they're just limp dicks that are taking up bench space. It's a championship team. Now the Warriors are a little different because they're probably 5 or 6 deep of players that I want to see, but for most of the teams, there's 2 or 3 players deep on each team that you want to see. And if 1 or 2 of those guys sit out, yeah, okay. And the other problem is with baseball, I don't know why this name popped into my head, but if Hunter Pence decides to take the day off, it doesn't significantly damage the competitive chances of them winning the game.
And here's the difference, too. If a baseball player in a playoff run, they're not going to take a day off.
No.
Because even though that one game, may not be as significant, a basketball player, like right now, they're like, oh, they're starting to rest for the stretch. Okay? If the Giants are out there in the number 1 seed, they want to extend that number 1 seed because baseball is mental. If you keep building up a lead, 4-game, 4.5, 5, 5.5, those other teams start to be like, fuck.
Yeah.
We may not make it that far. And it's a mental game. And if you can get a team that's kind of broken down mentally going into the playoffs, you have a bigger advantage.
Right. And there's so many games in baseball that it's different. But, like I was saying,
TJ just hit the nail on the head. Go ahead and finish that thought.
My thought was, so let's take the Giants. If Hunter Pence, if Buster Posey and Crawford all sit down for a day, there's still a good chance that those guys coming off the bench are going to be competitive and got a good chance of winning. Hold on.
I want to elaborate on that.
Well, just hold on. Let me finish. If Kawhi Leonard and the rest of his guys take the or if LeBron and his guys, his 3 or 4 players, it's not a game anymore. Mm-hmm. Very rarely is it a game. So you're losing that competitive dynamic. So, okay, go ahead.
No, what I was going to say is, and TJ kind of hit it on the head too, is let's say Posey takes a break, right? And he's like, oh, I need to take a day off. Or Pence, which doesn't happen, but that's the name you used.
Right.
And let's say the Giants are down 3 or down 2 in the 8th inning, and the pitcher spot comes up, and there's 2 on. Guess who's going to get the call for that at bat?
Right.
If last night, if Cleveland was down 4 with 3 to go, guess who's not coming in?
Right.
It's Mr. Starbucks.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's the different dynamic, too. It's like baseball players.
Yeah, TJ, that's right on.
They take a day off, but they're available.
Right.
They're not in street clothes. They might have a sweatshirt or a jacket on, but guess what's underneath it? Their uniform.
Right. And there's always the chance that they're going to play. You always kind of looking in the dugout going, what's Pence doing? What's Posey doing? Are they going to come pinch hit? And, I think for the most part, the managers will pinch hit them when they need to. So, I think you're right. This whole taking time off is just bullshit.
I'm tired of it. Absolutely tired of it.
Well, then.
I had one other thing, and I fucking forgot what it was. I'm still trying to work out the dates for our Rivercat special. I'm hoping to be able to do it this week. It'd be nice to get it done this week. That gives us 2 weeks before the season starts. Week and a half before the season starts.
We're going to talk about the Giants
tonight.
Yeah.
I think next week I want to try to parlay a Giants show the same week that we do the Rivercat show.
Okay.
We could talk Rivercats. We could talk Giants. I'm thinking next weekend we need to do a Giants show regardless. It's the 26th. Opening day for the Giants is the 6th, 7th. No, opening day is the 7th. Yeah, I couldn't get tickets because opening day is on my anniversary, and that wasn't going to fucking happen.
So next week's the last show before the season starts.
Yes, I'm trying to pull up this Giants schedule right now. Opening night. Oh, they lost to Milwaukee. That's cool.
Who cares?
Right. Oakland is spring training. Is this the opening? They start on the 2nd in Arizona? Yeah.
No. Oh, yeah. They're on the road.
Yeah. So, yeah, we have to. So,
in fact, I think they play 7 games on the road before they're 4 in Arizona and 3 in San Diego before they do their home opener.
Yeah. So they have 4 and 3. They have the home opener on the 10th. So, yeah, next weekend is the final weekend before the Giants season opens up. That's weird. They have 2 at home against Oakland and then 1 on the road in Oakland in the spring training.
They always do that.
Yeah, but normally it's 2-2 or 1-1. It's 2-1.
Are they going to play up here?
No. So the night before the season starts this year, the San Jose Giants, the single A
team
will be in Sacramento.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
Scrimmage.
That'd be fun.
That's on the 5th. I won't be able to make that game, but we should have our. Hopefully everything's set up by then. I need to get a hold of Robert to get our media and everything covered too. I'll work on that tomorrow. I'll give him a call tomorrow. I've been texting him, but he's been super busy with the season coming along. So Giants are starting to send players down. They're starting to option players down.
Yeah.
So things are going to start getting hectic in Sacramento. Baseball preview comes out on the 28th for TJ at tjsportsgeek.com. Yeah, we'll
In fact, TJ, are you all right, man? I've been seeing these cryptic Facebook messages that your life is falling apart, so I want to make sure you're all right.
Yeah, he's been a little on the downside.
Yeah.
Baseball's back though. He should pick it up soon.
Yeah, but he's an A's fan, so that's,
TJ's a Giants fan.
Is he a Giants?
TJ, you're a Giants fan.
Yeah,
right?
he is. I don't know what I was thinking.
Barnbaum's the A's fan.
Yeah.
What's going on here? This looks like it's gonna be bad. Oh no, it's a E6 either mind. I thought it would be like a push the kid in the pool.
No, I know which one this is too. It's a transgender one.
Oh, TJ, I'm just waiting to make sure we get confirmation that you are a Giants fan.
Yeah, he is. I know he is.
TJ the Giants geek. Next weekend we may have. I don't know if George wanted to come in and do a 49ers show. He's also a pretty big ass Giants fan. We might have George come in, sit down with us, and talk a little baseball. His girlfriend can come over and hang out with the wife there, buddy, and get him out of the house a little bit. George will talk about that this week. TJ will have to talk to you about your preview. He is a Giants fan.
TJ, can you do the game with me on the 8th?
He said we'll see.
Oh, okay.
We'll confirm that. We'll get all that rounded up. Keep an eye on us for Sirens updates for this week, leading up to their home opener on the 25th at Kennedy High School, 6 p.m. And Rivercats preview hopefully coming this week. Giants preview coming on Sunday. Kings season starting to come to an end. We won't have much to talk about until the off season and the draft, with Barnbaum's looking excited too. And that's pretty much it. Stay tuned to Facebook and our website, sportstalk916.com, for breaking news when it comes to your Giants, A's, Raiders, everyone else, primarily on Facebook and or Twitter. And for Greg Veroza, I am Greg Bowl. Be sure to share this on iTunes and Podbean and everywhere else. Let's get some more listeners every week. And we will be back next week.